What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. Today, I wanted to talk about how the unemployment problem seems to be getting better. In fact, the latest JOLTS report shows that it's getting better, but maybe not for long. We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for daily videos. Subscribe to my second channel for weekly videos. Get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel. We have the limited edition DYDSS Christmas line, only available until Christmas. Get one while you can. A portion of the proceeds are going to St. Jude's. Try out some G Fuel energy formula, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. And of course, last but certainly not least, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account. Refer one friend, one person that you know by the end of the month, and Webull's going to give you a guaranteed free share of Google worth about $100 right now, with the chance of winning all the way up to 20 free shares of Google. Everything will be linked in the description. All right, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about the unemployment issue that we have seen, especially this year. The unemployment problem it's exactly that. It's a problem, and it's been a problem for a while. The most recent JOLTS report, which by the way stands for Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, the most recent JOLTS report says that we've dropped from about 2 job openings per unemployed person to about 1.7 job openings per unemployed person. This, at the moment, is in fact a good sign. You like to see that. Why would you not want to see that? Even Jerome Powell, chair of the Federal Reserve, said that this was right along expectations. But let's not forget that companies have already made the decision in 2020, this year, to freeze hiring and or even begin layoffs in 2023, next year. Companies like Apple, Amazon, Meta, which used to be called Facebook, H&M, DoorDash, just to name a few. Now, the planned hiring slowdowns and layoffs for 2023 were announced over the summer during peak inflation. And prior to filming this video, I checked to see if anything has changed since then, because it's been a couple months. It's been 4, 5, 6 months, however long it's been. I checked to see if anything has changed or if there were any updates, and I'm still seeing reports as recent as November 22nd covering more planned hiring freezes and layoffs scheduled for next year. So, at the moment, we don't exactly know what next year means. Does that mean as soon as the new year hits? Does that mean sometime before the end of Q1 moving into Q2? What does that mean? When is that supposed to start taking place? When are we actually going to see people getting laid off or people no longer being hired in? Now, here's the problem. The reason people have been getting hired is because, well, not just because they need help, but companies have been overhiring for a while. And the reason for this was because of the initial labor shortage that we saw back when everybody was kicking back at home, because why go to work when you can just, lay at home and let the government pay you more than your job would pay you? Financially, that was actually the smarter decision. If you have two choices, break your back for $20 an hour, let's just say, or stay home for $21 an hour, not breaking your back, of course people are going to stay home. So it caused this major, massive labor shortage. And as that got tapered off, companies started overhiring, and this was on purpose. They knew that they were overhiring, and they knew that they were going to lay these people off eventually. The reason was because they were basically trying to hoard workers. They were hoarding staff, hoarding employees, in an attempt to not experience a labor shortage again, in case things take a turn for the worse when it comes to the economy and everything that's going on right now. Keep in mind, these reports first started coming out about a planned hiring freeze or a planned layoff over the summer. This was during peak inflation, like I said before. This is when inflation was over 9%. It was 9.1% at the highest. The following month, it was 8 point something. The month after that was 8.3 or something like that. Then it was 7.7. Now it's 7.1. So we're on a little bit of a downtrend. So I don't know how much is going to change in terms of hiring freezes and layoffs. I would imagine probably not a whole lot is going to change, even if inflation continues on the decline, because these companies don't need the people that they hired. They overhired on purpose. That was their own version of prepping. So anyway, coming around full circle, the JOLTS report shows an improvement on the number of job openings for every unemployed person. But do not think for a second that we are out of the woods just yet. Within the next few months, we might regress right on back to where we were. Which is why I believe we all need to go into Employee of the Month mode. This is what I call it. This is what I consider to be a form of prepping. Do whatever it takes to keep your paycheck. Every day, when you clock out of work, make sure you still have a place to clock in tomorrow. Go into Employee of the Month mode. The reason I say this is because if we begin to regress, if we go through another rough patch, or should I say, if the rough patch gets worse over the next couple of months, and the company that you work for has no choice but to begin laying people off. They need to. They don't want to. They have to. You want to know who they're going to lay off first? They're going to lay off the people that are like borderline liabilities. They're going to do everything in their power to not lay off the assets. The people that increase workplace productivity. The people that actually get stuff done. The hardest workers. The smartest workers. The employees of the month. They're going to do everything in their power to keep you. They do not want to let you go. Now, of course, if you're one of those people that clock in and the first thing you sit down and pull your phone out, yeah, they're looking for a reason to get rid of you. You know, there are people like that, you know, the managers walk around all day, every day being like, there's nothing we could do. They're in the union. They're looking to get rid of you. If you're like that. If you're a liability, if you don't pay attention, if you do more harm than good, yeah, of course. You're first in line out the door. In fact, we don't even need layoffs. We don't even need a recession. We don't need high inflation. They're trying to get rid of you anyway. The business could be booming and they're still trying to kick you out the door if you're a person like that. If you're someone that's kind of in the middle, or someone that, you know, you show up, you do your job, you go home, which is what most people do, I would recommend amping it up a little bit. I would recommend to start going a little bit more above and beyond. And this is just, like I said before, to go into Employee of the Month mode. You don't need to, you know, get that pat on the back. You don't need to get that, you know, official Employee of the Month title or anything like that. That's not what it's about. You just want to show initiative. You want to show that you're working. You want to show that you're doing everything you can, and that you not only show up to do your work, but you care about your work. You want to make sure that worst case scenario, if they have to let people go, including the people that they don't want to let go, you want to make sure that you're one of the people that gets to stay. I don't care. You know, I've received comments in the past being like, oh yeah, all the layoffs can happen. They can't fire me anyway because I'm an essential worker. Yeah, well, a lot of essential workers end up, you know, falling apart. A lot of what they consider quote unquote essential. You know, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, but I think every job in the world is essential to the economy, but the people that are considered essential workers, not every single last one of them came out okay during the initial 2020 disaster. And guess what? The ones who did keep their jobs ended up being severely, severely, severely overworked, which one could argue is a form of being not okay, not ending up okay. Sure, you kept your job, but you were driven into the ground. So anyway, in conclusion, the JOLTS report shows that we are improving when it comes to the whole unemployment issue, but as of right now, some of the biggest companies in the world are planning on, in a weird way, you could say, planning on making the unemployment issue a little bit worse. And who knows if that's going to open the floodgates? Who knows what's going to happen over the next couple of months? So go into employee of the month mode. Make sure you do everything you can and do everything right to keep your paycheck. That's the most important thing right now. You got to keep your paycheck. You got to keep your source of income. Consider cutting back on certain expenses. Consider investing a little bit more. Do some research and figure out ways to generate a little bit of passive income, even if it's not very much, even if it's $10, $50 a month coming in. People might say, like, oh, that's not very impressive. It's not impressive. You want to know what it is? It's a start. So if you haven't gotten started, consider getting started. Do your research. Figure out what type of passive income makes the most sense for you and what you view as doable and achievable and attainable, and start building. Start working on something. But make sure you keep your job. Your job and your paycheck is how you fuel your investments. It's how you fuel your passive income. Use your active income to create passive income. Can't do that without a job. I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Have you looked at, have you glanced at, have you reviewed the most recent JOLTS report? And what are your thoughts on the number of job openings per unemployed person decreasing, which is a good sign? Do you think we're going to continue this trend? Do you think it's going to close in even more? We just recently got the November CPI report, which shows that inflation is still on the decline. Do you think that as well will continue? Head on down to the comments and let me know. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for exclusive weekly content. Get yourself some DYDSS merchandise to help support the channel in the biggest possible way. Remember, we have the limited edition DYDSS Christmas line, only available until Christmas. Only a few days left. Get one while you can, and a portion of the proceeds are going right to St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. It's a season of giving. Help us raise a little bit of money for children with cancer. Try out some G Fuel energy formula, $5 off your first order by clicking the link in the description. Over 50 different flavors to choose from, and they're doing buy one get one free sales periodically throughout the month since it's, Christmas time. So go ahead and buy one, go ahead and get one free, and go ahead and get $5 off on top of that. Link in the description. And of course, finally, make sure to go and get your up to 12 free fractional shares by downloading Webull and funding your account. You could deposit as little as you'd like, even as little as a penny. It still works, it still counts, you still get your up to 12 free fractional shares. Refer one friend, one person that you know, one human being by the end of the month. And Webull's going to give you a guaranteed free share of Google worth about $100 as I'm recording the video, with the chance of winning all the way up to 20 free shares of Google. Please, for the love of God, do not pass up on this opportunity. Refer one person. For every friend you refer after that, Webull's going to give you 15 free fractional shares of some of the most rock-solid companies in the world, by the way. Ford, Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Apple, the list goes on. And for every friend you refer, you're also going to get an entry to the New Year prize board, which means in January, Webull's going to be taking a whole bunch of people that made referrals in December, they're going to be selecting a few randoms and giving them even more free shares of Google. Everything will be linked in the description. Once again, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. When it comes to the most recent JOLTS report, when it comes to the unemployment issue seeming as though it's beginning to get better, do you believe that it will continue to get better? Or do you think this is just kind of a false alarm, false hope, and we're going to end up regressing right back into, where we were a couple months ago, or where we were last year, or, maybe worse? Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.